fans are growing more concerned about Disney's new Snow White remake, mostly because of what the lead actress has been saying to the press. Rachel Zegler has been described as a walking PR disaster for Disney's.
The billion-dollar Hollywood empire, home to nearly 1,000 film studios and commanding over 60% of the global movie market, while clutching the prestigious Oscars, is now teetering on the edge of collapse, all because of a young actress, Rachel Zegler.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time. I had no idea what I was auditioning for when I auditioned. So it's a kind of a hilarious question to say, like, what drew you to the material? Is that, like, I didn't realize that I was reading lines with Dopey. Our director, Mark Webb, on Zoom was like, you know, and then Dopey's gonna look at you and whistle. And I took a pause and realized what I was auditioning for. And then it became like, I will elbow everyone out of the way to play the part.
Snow White has now earned a new title, one of the most catastrophic flops in film history. And just as fans were beginning to process the film's disappointing reception, the lead actress added fuel to the fire. Instead of damage control, she leaned in hard. Rachel Zegler didn't just push back on public opinion, she bulldozed through it with unapologetic confidence. From criticizing the beloved original to charging straight into political firestorms, her portrayal of Disney's Snow White didn't just invite backlash, it ignited a dramatic and rapid downward spiral in her once rising career. Wondering what exactly she said that sent it all crashing down? Buckle up. This gets wild. Disney had been searching for a new face to bring Snow White back to life, and honestly, what a dream role. I grew up absolutely enchanted by Disney films. While I never imagined myself as Snow White, I'll admit, I pictured being the prince once or twice. But this time, Disney had a different vision. They weren't looking for someone with skin as white as snow, because the character had already been reimagined. In the 1937 animated classic, Snow White got her name from her pale complexion. In this new version, she earns it by surviving a brutal snowstorm. It's a major shift from the version I grew up with, but as a longtime fan, I'll admit, I was curious how far they'd go. This bold reinvention had everyone talking, and Disney was all in. They placed their bet on Rachel Zegler, a rising star without any major blockbusters to her name. It was a high-risk move, no doubt. I had no idea what I was auditioning for, Rachel later admitted, so it's kind of funny when people ask what drew me to the role, because I didn't even realize I was reading lines with Dopey. She recalled a Zoom session with director Mark Webb. He's like, and then Dopey's gonna look at you and whistle. That's when it clicked. I realized what I was auditioning for, and at that point, I was ready to elbow everyone out of the way to get the part. For a moment, it looked like a real-life fairy tale was coming true for Rachel Zegler. If everything had gone according to plan, she might have become the most beloved Disney princess of a new generation. Hollywood rolled out the red carpet for Rachel, hailing her as the next big thing, a fresh talent destined for greatness. But life isn't a fairy tale, and for Zegler, that happily ever after seems to be slipping away. Instead of embracing the spotlight, Zegler cast it aside. What should have been her golden ticket to A-list stardom turned into a controversy she created herself, one even Disney couldn't have predicted. Defending Zegler, that became a challenge once her own words lit the spark. Each time she spoke, it was like pouring fuel on the fire. Her unapologetic remarks, mocking the original Snow White, jumping into polarizing political issues, quickly clouded her once bright image. What started as a bold, modern take soon looked more like defiance for drama's sake. Gal Gadot, though swept up in the film's backlash, remained calm and composed. Her public image stayed untarnished, and major studios continued to seek her out. She weathered the storm with quiet grace, a lesson in navigating controversy without adding fuel to the fire. Zegler, on the other hand, saw her narrative spiral out of control. As criticism grew, social media turned vicious. The backlash went far beyond negative feedback. It escalated into online harassment and even threats to her safety. The internet had turned against her. At the center of it all, her attitude. During the film's promotional run, Zegler's tone often came off as arrogant, dismissive, and ungrateful, particularly when addressing a story beloved across generations. "It's no longer 1937, she stated. "Our Snow White doesn't need saving by a prince. She's not dreaming of love. She's dreaming of leadership, of becoming the fearless leader her father always told her she could be." While empowering on paper, the message fell flat in delivery. Rather than inspiring audiences, it felt like a takedown of the original. And fans didn't respond well. Across TikTok and X, clips of Zegler criticizing the old Snow White went viral, mocked, memed, and dismantled. Viewers accused her of disrespecting a legacy she barely appreciated and questioned why someone so seemingly ungrateful had accepted the role in the first place. Many believed she was a poor match for Snow White, a character treasured for her gentleness and purity. Instead of embracing the role, Zegler repeatedly compared it unfavorably to the animated classic, portraying the remake as Snow White's real triumph. "I'm not some damsel in distress waiting for you to ride in on your high horse. I'm really sorry. I was just trying to be kind. Kind? If you want to be kind, disappear and take the patriarchy with you. Seriously, go away, stalker. You're weird, 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 weird." Many expressed that Zegler should have simply focused on promoting the film as Disney intended, rather than broadcasting her personal opinions. The studio's PR team pulled out all the stops, organizing press events and reinforcing that this Snow White was a reimagining of Disney's first ever full-length animated feature. They preserved iconic songs like Hi-Ho and Whistle While You Work, while introducing new tracks to modernize the tale. Disney aimed to strike a balance, paying homage to the original while offering a contemporary twist to spark connection and nostalgia. But their efforts seemed to fall short, or worse, were entirely overshadowed by Rachel Zegler. No one could stop the growing wave of public outrage. Rather than excitement around a modern fairy tale, media coverage fixated on the controversy surrounding Zegler's comments. All the work to reimagine a magical, updated Snow White unraveled, not because of the script, not because of the film's quality, but perhaps because the new age Snow White herself unintentionally shattered the enchantment. It raises the question, where did a 22-year-old with no major accomplishments find the audacity to make such bold, confrontational statements, alienating fans instead of expressing humility and gratitude? Listen, if she had just held, let me if it like this tightened further or adjusted in tone, more neutral, professional, etc.